Bonchurch Old Church belongs to the remote past, and it stands, with its exception of the windows, the porch and the bell cop, just as it stood when the builders ceased work nearly 1,000 years ago. They were monks from the Abbey of Lyra in Normandy, and they had been granted the tithes of Luckham and Bonchurch by William Fitz-Osborne, Lord of the Island. According to legend, they chose for their site of ruins of a Saxon church, and the legend is supported by the fact that there were Normans yet dedicated their church to Saxon saints St Boniface. This tiny churchyard is surely the most beautiful in the kingdom, and few places have more romantic and historic interest. For here once stood King Charles when he came from his prison at Carrisbrooke Castle to be present at the burial of Sir Ralph Chamberlain. And here lies the unmarked grave of Chevalier d'Ors, leader of the French, killed in the attack on Bonchurch in 1545. Through its gates the poet Swinburne was carried to be baptised, and under the tree lies John Sterling, the friend of Carlyle, who died at 1843 at Hillside in Ventnor, and the Reverend William Adams, the author of The Shadow of the Cross, who died at Winterbourne, the house overlooking the graveyard, in 1843. The earliest tombstone is that of Thomas Mackett, and it bears the date of 1616. Hello and welcome to another episode of Cemetery Strolls. This time we're still in Bonchurch, but we are at the old Bonchurch St Boniface. It was rebuilt in 1070. It's open, so we are going to get a chance to go indoors as well. It is absolutely beautiful out here. To the top of the hills, blue skies. But before we go there, there's something down here which I kept hearing. I don't know if you can pick up the noise, but I thought we'd go and visit it. Something Bonchurch Community Association. We are the BCA, are working this area, clearing weeds and ivy, ready for planting shrubs and flowering plants to enhance this charming spot for the residents and visitors to enjoy in the future. That's coming from underneath the church and the graveyard. And that there, through the trees, is the English Channel. Right, so let's get in and do what we come to do. And how old that sign is. Yeah. To allow the local resident and historian Bonchurch Dickens walks, because literally just up the top of the hill as we're coming down is a place where Dickens stayed, and I'm not sure what book he wrote. I don't know how much we're going to be able to read here, because Obviously, some of these graves are going to be really old. But we'll come out and have a look in a sec after we've gone in. It's the bell tower. Village of Bonchurch. These beams have stood some time. And the door. Lovely. Well, that looks like the organ. Candles. You can imagine that lit up. The font. There's the bell pull. I know this up here is. I've got something on it, I will write it down. In 2006, it had been discovered that the fresco on the north wall are indeed 12th century Romanesques and are considered to be the earliest example of its kind on the island. Sacred to the memory of Henry Hill, Esquire, Vice Admiral of the Red, who departed this life 7th day of June 1849, aged 78. And also dedicated to Rear Admiral Hill, with the fondest regards to the memory of his beloved wife Caroline, and also Dora Helena, the youngest daughter of Admiral Hill, and Caroline, his wife, who died Negapantum in the East Indies, 26th of April 1848. And then Joseph Hewson AM. You've got that's in Latin. Look at this cross, isn't it gorgeous? It is, it's all wood. See if I can. Lovely. Butterfly in the wind. This here, within the vault in the yard at the west end of this church, I deposited the remains of Thomas Prickett, surgeon, late of Whipham, in the county of Essex, who with plenty of piety and resignation closed a life of extensive usefulness the 6th day of March 1811, aged 30. He married Rebecca, the only daughter of John Paul, late of Whipham. And that there looks like it's a... Oh my God. man down. It looks like a wooden made of it. Wish I could catch that butterfly. Not going to get out that window. Let's go and discover, shall we? Okay. Tea Pricket, 1811. Ellen Maria, daughter of Ralph and Sarah Nicholson, the dear child beloved by all who knew her, 17th of October, 1853, at the age of 15. Henry, this is Henry the brother. Now I remember. This is Henry Lloyd, their son, on the 28th June 1858, age 25. We've got William Green, died September the 6th, 1850, age 91. Look at this quaint. I'm wondering if this would have been an entrance or something. The stone there, so George Gray, born at Leverseat, Edinburgh, 22nd of February 1842, and died at Ventnor, Isle of Wight, 18th of June 1873. Not sure what this is. There's no grave there. Whether it's from an older one, I don't know. Can't seem to find any writing. But there is a stone down here. It's MF 1864. But that was something to do with it. I have not a clue, but in memory of Paul John Fearum of Hampstead, Middlesex, who died at Ventnor, January the 15th, 1858, aged 33. Colonel William Moss Robinson died 24th of September 1890, aged 55. Thank you for your service, sir. And that is Anne Robinson, who died at Croydon on the 18th of September 1863, aged 43. Tiny one. Looks like a child's. William Thomas Homeborough, surgeon of Setley, Yorkshire. Died at like Ventnor, age 34. This one's got a face on it. Florence Blanche, dear child of James and Blanche Watney of London. Sydney Howe Osborne, age 7 years, 1863. Here layeth Anne, the wife of Will Dyer, who died November 2nd AD 1681. So these are the proper old ones. Another at the back here, see if we can move the flowers carefully. Yeah, 1680. Robert. William Augustus Forrest, late of Hurstpierpoint, Sussex, who died at Vent 6th of May 1875 in his 64th year. Also Elizabeth, his wife, died 13th of August 1879, in the 60th year of her age. The grave of the Reverend William Adams, who was well known in his day as the author of sacred elegies including The Shadow of the Cross, is surmounted by a horizontal cross so that he can literally lie underneath its shadow. Some more of the old ones there. $16.19, I can see there. That's a beautiful stone. That is different. It's like a mountain. White marble by the fields. Look at the back end of it. In memory of Richard Sharland, of Bidford banker who went away January 20th, 1871, aged 60, and Ellen, April the 19th, 1895, aged 69. That is beautiful. We've got memory of John, son of John and Marjorie, died February 23rd, 1754, aged 12 years. Can't see the rest, but I'm hoping that's the family with them. Who's inside? Right. Maria Ann Swell, youngest daughter of Henry Swell, the first Premier of New Zealand, and his wife Lucinda Miriam Needham. Following her mother's death and father's emigration, the family moved to Bonchurch, and Miriam was raised by her parental aunts Elizabeth, Ellen and Emma Swell, which we actually see a plaque for them in the new Bonchurch church. George Swell was the youngest son of Henry and Lucinda Swell. He was 5 years old when he passed. So basically, Henry lost his children and his wife, and then went off to New Zealand and became the first Prime Minister of New Zealand. That's it, I think. That's the end of this episode of Cemetery Strolls. I do hope you enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed this one, discovering something that's been rebuilt in the 11th century and having the privilege to go inside it, and all of us have a look inside of it. It's still there. So I thank you muchly that you join me from St Boniface Old Church in Bonchurch on the Isle of Wight. I thank you muchly. Goodbye. Well, this is Spring Cottage, which is in Bonchurch Shoot. And yes, in fact, while staying in this house, Charles Dickens, English novelist, wrote part of David Copperfield in 1849. And Miles Burkitt Foster, watercolour artist, painted on the shore of Bonchurch in 1862. William Adams, Christian scholar, author of Sacred Allegations, lived here from 1843 until his death in 1848. I don't know if we can It's private as well, so I can't. But there's part of the building. Yeah, Charles Dickens wrote some of David Copperfield there.